Here we have the all-new 2025 Dodge Charger Daytona. So this one's a full electric vehicle. Comes in diamond crystal black pearl. And then we have black leatherette and suede interior. This is a stage 2, so that's a $4,000 option. Then we also have the track package as well. So a pretty loaded out vehicle at almost $76,000. 241 miles of range on the charge and a 100.5 kilowatt hour battery. Now, one thing I can say is they killed the design on this car. It's absolutely stunning in person. LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights. It's just a nasty, nasty car, especially black on black here. I mean, it's just a great, great vehicle to, you know, for my eyes at least. 20-inch aluminum wheels. Now with that track pack, you do get the Brembo brakes. And again, with it being stage 2, you can see the badging there. But before I go on the inside, I just want to admire this back end. It looks exactly like the outgoing Charger does. And you'll see throughout the video, there's so many things that Dodge did that pretty much are almost identical, but not identical to the Charger. And it just pays homage to the older ones. And I think personally, they did a fantastic job on this thing. To the door panel here, power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, memory seat functions. We do get blind spot monitors there. Now we get a 9-speaker Alpine system with the subwoofer. And then here, that's how you open the door. And then if you don't have power for whatever reason, hit that right there. And that's how you can get out with no power. Headlamp controls are there. And then we do have a frunk as well, so we'll see what's in there. I'm sure it's just gonna be the motor for the front, but manual tilt telescoping steering wheel, power driver seat. We get 4-way power lumbar support, and then we also have the thigh support down there as well, which is great. And I love the interior, red stitching and all that, just fantastic. Now for me, I have a kid, so if I were to get one of these, I'd have to make sure I have easy access to the back seat. So pull this strap here, and then it kind of does the work for you so you can get to the back. And it's actually pretty spacious back there in terms of just, you can see how far that seat is back, and then you still have all that space behind it. So it's not necessarily like a Challenger. And then back there we have our USB-C ports, 3-stage heated outboard seats there. And then we do get the seat back pockets on both sides. Now just for y'all, I'm gonna sit back here and see if I get squished. See how far back it goes. I might have to move the seat. Yeah, that's my feet. But honestly, not terrible back here. Again, I could sit up there being 6'3" with longer legs and sitting behind myself. It's impressive for a coupe, honestly. Bottle holders are right there in the middle. And again, I do like the ease of, like how easy it is to get out of here. Just pull that strap and then lean the seat up. And then you can just get out of here. Let's see how hard that is for me. Oh yeah, that's tough. Now for the charge port here, you can just push that in. Now I'm not sure on the actual charging speed, but there's the back end there. And then when you can hear the speakers coming out the back, kind of like where the exhaust would be, that's where you can hear that kind of rattling there, or that rumble. Oh, so that's not power, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's heavy. It's a heavy trunk, but top tethers on the back of the seats there. Inflator kit. And there's our front passenger seat power. I'll leave the specs in the description. I don't really have time to think right now because people keep coming around this car, kind of eyeballing it, and it's kind of worrying me. So I want to get this on the road as soon as possible. Lockable glove compartment there, or at least be inside with the doors locked. Now y'all can pause anywhere you need to if you want to take a closer look at anything. 241 miles on a charge. And interesting parts content makeup here. So with everything, 76,135 here at Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Franklin in Franklin, Tennessee. And a big thanks to them for allowing me to review this car today. I will leave a link below in the description. So that's cool how they did that. Easy access to like a couple things, I guess. I'm sure this is kind of easy to take off. Windshield washer fluid's there. But I mean, again, the design is 10 out of 10, this car. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. Scoot this back. Nice leather wrap steering wheel, and I really like the shape and the size of it. It's very easy to hold, but if you want to use two hands, it's also nice for that too. Horn solid. Now over here to the radio, we'll go through all the apps and whatnot real quick. You do get AM radio, FM, XM, Bluetooth, and all of your other controls there. You also get the Android Auto. So I want to see this. Now here you have your performance pages like you're used to in the Scat Packs and the Hellcats and all of that, where you can test your times for whatever reason. All of your gauges there, G-force. Now I do like that we get the 3-stage heated cooled seats here, as well as the heated steering wheel for the driver's side. And I really like how they set the radio up. It's very easy to use, like I'm used to from the Chryslers. Just great graphics in the screen, and everything kind of makes sense where it is. Backup cameras there. You get the guidelines that follow you as you turn the steering wheel. And then you can cut the screen off if you want to. Volume knob is here, tune knob there. You can kind of click the volume knob, turn the whole screen off as well. And then for the AC controls, you can either use the drop downs here, or you have controls that are soft touch here. And you can even set the auto, the eco, and all that there. Hazards are there. Turn that down. Now I like how the AC vents are integrated. USB-C ports, launch control, and then you have your traction control, lane keeping, and then your parking sensors. Now what's funny is this says race option unavailable, odometer less than 500 miles. So I think it's funny how gas engines have a break-in period, but this also has a break-in period. I don't know what it would necessarily be for, but that's interesting. Now for the shifter, again, I like how they kind of took this from the Chargers, Challengers. Grab the lever here, reverse neutral drive. Then you have your push button start there, electronic parking brake there. Center console cubby space. We do get a 12-volt and a USB-A. So look at the back seat from up here. Few controls here. Sunglasses holder. Universal garage door transmitter. Nice vanity mirror. And then your windshield wipers right in here. Mist is there, and then your high beams. Now the paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, those do control your regenerative braking system. And then you do have your voice recognition, Bluetooth. And this kind of goes through your gauges here, and you can use this to go through when applicable, depending on what menu you're in. And then you do have the driving assist, active driving assist, which is great. So lane centering and all that with your adaptive cruise. You can adjust the gap there, turn it on or off there, set the speed, cancel, resume. And then the fun stuff, drive modes are here. So you get track, drag, sport, custom, wet, snow, and then your auto mode. Just so many different drive modes to choose from. And the track mode, the speakers are so loud here. It's really funny. I think I'm gonna drive around like that for a minute. But you can go through those there, then your power shot right there. So, I mean, this thing has tons of power because I drove it on the way over here. It was so freaking fast, and I didn't even have the power shot on. It was only in sport mode, so. But there we have our heads-up display. And there's the key fob with remote start. But this is the only, I think I've only seen two of these on the road. I saw one today and then the one I have here. So again, I want to get out of here as soon as possible, take it on the road for a quick test drive. So let's go ahead and do that in this 2025 Charger Daytona Stage 2. So starting the test drive in this Charger Daytona here, again, track pack, Stage 2. It's, I have it in track mode now. It's just funny how much these speakers are working, but I really do like it. And when they first kind of tested this out, everybody was like, man, this is goofy, this is stupid or whatever. But actually being behind the wheel here, they did a great job with actually developing the sound, coming up with a nice sound that kind of goes with an electric charger. And I really think they knocked it out of the park, in my personal opinion. But where this thing really shines is the performance is crazy, and the overall feel you get because of this fake exhaust noise. It's so much fun to drive. And I said this in the walk around portion of the review, but I was kind of getting scared because I'm in a blacked out Charger Daytona. And again, this is one of the few out here now. They really haven't been getting sold as much. Obviously EVs are so expensive compared to gas powered ones, and there's just a kind of stigma around EVs in general here in America specifically, but especially here in the South. But it's really just, I really want to buy this car, and I haven't even like pushed it, but the overall looks are incredible. It's probably the best Charger interior, going back to the older vehicles, even like the old vehicles, like the 60s versions. I just love how they did this interior. The gauges are fantastic. The screens were so perfectly put. And I just love this traditional shifter here. We don't have a column shifter or a rotary knob like in most EVs. We have a typical, what feels like a real shifter for this transmission. And then even the placement of the paddle shifters, it might only control the regenerative braking, but it just feels so sporty. You just want to slap them, but it's just, they did such a good job with this car. They really did. Design-wise, at least. Now, range could be better, but not really tripping on that either. Because 241 miles, and I'm basically just going to be using this for fun and driving to and from work. So as long as your commute isn't more than 120, 130 miles, it shouldn't be a big issue. Even when you're having a little bit of fun with it on the interstate. Now we're gonna give it a little pull after I kind of get on the interstate here. But what's crazy is the sport mode, the track mode, everything just takes the traction control off, which is wild. But yeah, I mean, this thing is freaking crazy. A really good idea. At first I wasn't sure about it, but it does make sense. Like the first EV you have out, you want it to be something fun, and that's really what this is. I'm gonna give it a pull here. Here we go. Yeah, it's very quick, very quick. Yeah, this is absolutely insane. And I wasn't even flooring it because the car is honestly scaring me, and that's track mode without the power shot and without traction control. I just don't want to, I don't know what this thing has in store, so it's a fun car. Let me just start off by saying that. If you kind of don't think that EVs can be fun, Dodge is challenging you to give them a try with this thing. It's honestly, it's not a Hellcat, but it's probably a step below. I even like this better than the Scat packs, honestly. Now, if you tune one, that's one thing, but like here with this stock compared to a stock Scat Pack, I like the feeling of power there. Of course, you get that instant torque, that instant feel when you're accelerating, but it's just a fun EV. And with me being kind of an advocate for electric vehicles, this is one of those that if I was collecting cars and they were EVs and I didn't necessarily want to spend money on a Taycan Turbo S or something like this, I would go with this because the sticker price is what, $76,000, but also these have so many discounts on them just because they're hard to get rid of. You could save a ton of money with this anyway. You might be able to get one in the 50s, low 60s if you look hard enough. But I want to give a huge thanks to Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram for allowing me to review this Charger Daytona today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But again, just such a fun electric vehicle. It's, from a practical standpoint, I do think this would be a good daily driver because it is something that is fun, but also pretty easy to drive, that makes sense. So if you're driving on the interstate, the ride is great. Everything about this car is just fun, but then you're still able to use EV power. So you're not having to spend a ton of money on gas like you would on maybe a typical gas powered Charger, specifically a V8 or a supercharged V8 one. So the coolest thing about this car, I think, and honestly, if you're not into the fake exhaust sound, you'll hate it, but the fact that you can rev this thing from neutral is just crazy. It's really cool. Here, I'll show you. So, I mean, that's something that's pretty interesting in my opinion. Now, all in all, I think this is just a great car for the EV enthusiast that wants a sports car, and that's probably the best way to put it. Again, super fun car, super fast car, and it's just, it really is an electric Charger. And Chrysler surprised me by doing, I guess Stellantis surprised me by doing such a great job with this car. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Dodge Charger Daytona.